Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following. And by viewers like you. Thank you.
A battle is brewing between state and local officials over immigration policy. Thank you for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. The city of El Cajon is suing California Attorney General Rob Bonta over California's sanctuary state law. KPBS reporter Katie Anastas says city leaders argue the policy makes it harder for police to do their jobs.
This is a constitutional case. Under the Constitution, federal law is supreme.
California law prohibits state and local law enforcement from assisting with federal immigration enforcement, with some exceptions. Governor Jerry Brown signed Senate Bill 54 into law in 2017. On Wednesday, the city of El Cajon and the America First Policy Institute announced a lawsuit challenging SB 54. Mayor Bill Wells says it conflicts with federal law.
What law should our police officers follow? Should they follow the laws of the United States of America, or should they follow the laws of the state of California?
The lawsuit specifically cites a section of federal law that, quote, makes it an offense for any person who encourages or induces someone to live in the U.S. without legal status. Richard Lawson with the America First Policy Institute says that's what sets this case apart from a similar case filed by Huntington Beach. That case was dismissed late last year.
The theory of the lawsuit is that the entire suite of sanctuary policies, everything from the boasts on California's websites about how people without documentation can get a driver's license, how people without documentation get student discounts, how people without documentation get disability benefits, how people without documentation get advance warning of an ICE notice, and yes, how people without documentation are never to be asked by law enforcement as to whether or not they're lawfully to be here. If you look at all of that, it is designed to induce and encourage illegal aliens to reside here.
Councilmember Steve Goebel asked the California Department of Justice whether local police should conduct wellness checks on unaccompanied children. The department said that may violate state law if police share immigration information with federal authorities as a result of that welfare check. In a statement, Attorney General Rob Bonta said, quote, El Cajon should prepare for another loss. There have been endless attempts to lie and gaslight the public about SB 54, but here's the truth. Anyone, regardless of immigration status, who commits a crime can be held accountable under California law, period. SB 54 is a pro-public safety law that encourages witnesses and victims of crime to come forward and work with law enforcement. SB 54 has been upheld in court again and again, and we're prepared to defend it from a baseless attack once more. The America First Policy Institute says winning this case would allow other cities to challenge their state's sanctuary laws. Katie Anastas, KPBS News.
I'm Ariella Scalise. Coming up tonight, under a partly cloudy sky, temperatures drop to the upper 50s. The warmest days coming Thursday and Friday, and then a bit of a pattern change that will bring us some cooling early next week and even a slight chance for a shower.
The average price for a gallon of gas in San Diego County has surpassed the $6 mark. The average cost of regular gas rose 2.5 cents to about $6.04. That's the highest it's been since October 6th of 2023. As drivers deal with those higher prices, lawmakers are looking into alternatives. A new bill moving through the state legislature could open the door for drivers to turn their gas-powered cars into flex fuel vehicles.
The state has a goal to go all EV or all zero emission by 2035. I think it's pretty apparent that it's not going to get there in time. The only way to really do that is through either EVs or something like E85, where you can completely remove gasoline and put something that's cheaper and cleaner into the gallon.
Now, there are some downsides. E85 flex fuel doesn't get as good of mileage as regular gas, and it's not available at every station. Right now, California is the only state where it is illegal to convert your car to E85. The bill would legalize aftermarket conversion kits. The national average gas price has also jumped overnight to a 4-year high. Surging energy prices are creating uncertainty for inflation and the job market. Karen Kafer reports those factors played into the Federal Reserve's latest decision on interest rates.
No change in interest rates from the Federal Reserve on Wednesday as energy costs surge due to the war in Iran.
Developments in the Middle East are contributing to a high level of uncertainty about the economic outlook, and we will remain attentive to risks to both sides of our dual mandate.
Gas prices pushed to a fresh 4-year high on Wednesday, according to AAA. The nationwide average for a regular gallon of gas, $4.23, the highest since July 2022.
Crude oil prices have gone above $100 a barrel again. So we've seen a 20-cent increase in the national average in the past week, and we're paying more than $1 than we were this time last year.
Higher gas prices mean businesses and consumers face elevated costs for production, shipping, and transportation. Elizabeth Renter, senior economist for NerdWallet, says the Fed sees risks on both sides of their dual mandate of maximum employment and stable prices.
Inflation remains high and is likely climbing, right? It was high before the war in Iran started, but now it's rising because of the energy price shock or the oil price shock directly attributed to the war.
Keeping interest rates steady means consumers won't see relief on their borrowing costs, which may seem like another blow to households trying to keep up with debt and loans. Renter says consumers have been resilient and crucial to the U.S. economy.
I do feel like the consumer overall is hanging on tight, and as long as we see their spending continue to be strong, the economy should be able to withstand the risks.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafer.
The city of San Diego is considering slashing arts funding to help balance next year's budget. But at the county, 2 supervisors are proposing investing millions into the arts. Supervisors Tara Lawson-Reamer and Monica Montgomery Stepp unveiled their plan today. It includes up to $2.75 million to launch the effort, with $2.25 million in ongoing annual investments. The money would fund initiatives including an artist grant program, investments in the Black Arts and Culture District, and an artist in residence program. The Board of Supervisors will vote on the proposal on May 5th. The La Mesa City Council is delaying the final vote on an e-bike ordinance to next month. KPBS reporter Elaine Alfaro says the council's decision follows some community pushback.
After a unanimous vote earlier this month, it seemed certain that the La Mesa City Council would pass a ban on e-bike riding for children under 12. But now that might not be the case. Here's Councilmember Laura Lothian at Tuesday's regular City Council meeting.
I don't like the idea of the city usurping the authority, supervision, and responsibility of a responsible parent over their child. So sometimes you put something out there without thinking it through, and it turns out that maybe it's not a great idea.
The ordinance would prohibit kids under 12 from operating standard e-bikes that can reach up to 20 miles per hour. The proposed ordinance follows others that have recently been passed in Santee, Chula Vista, and Coronado. Cassie Knight often rides to downtown La Mesa with her 10-year-old daughter, Charlie. Both were at Tuesday night's meeting.
We got our e-bikes as a family because parking in La Mesa is notoriously difficult. It gets worse by the day, and our idea was, well, you know, La Mesa is all hills. We can use these e-bikes and get around.
I want to know if I can still be able to ride my bike, because riding my bike kind of feels important to me too.
But Councilmember Genevieve Suzuki wasn't persuaded to change her vote in favor of the ordinance.
It's very personal to me because I have a 10-year-old and I have a 17-year-old. And I don't want either of them to get hurt. And I don't want their friends to get hurt. And I don't want them to hurt people either.
The mayor and another council member were absent from last night's meeting, so the final vote will take place on May 12th. Elaine Alfaro, KPBS News.
The Federal Aviation Administration is investigating reports of a close call between a drone and a passenger plane near San Diego International Airport. The United Airlines pilot told air traffic controllers they believed they hit a small red drone at about 3,000 feet this morning. United says the flight out of San Francisco went on to safely land in San Diego and that an inspection of the aircraft didn't reveal any damage. But the incident is raising questions about how the drone got into restricted airspace.
In the areas that's not restricted, you're still limited to 400 feet. So the fact that this drone operator was at 3,000 feet was pretty scary.
And the FAA confirmed crews reported a drone sighting and not a drone strike. Air traffic control alerted other pilots as well, but no other drone sightings were reported.
I'm Amna Nawaz. Tonight on the NewsHour, the Supreme Court weakens the Voting Rights Act by striking down a Louisiana congressional map. That's coming up at 7 after Evening Edition on KPBS.
Students got a close look at the candidates looking to be the next governor of California. During a watch party in Claremont in Los Angeles County, the first-time voters tried to gather as much information as possible before heading into the ballot box. Lori Perez reports.
The problem in California is people can't afford to live here.
It was dinner and a show at Prairie Dining Hall tonight. Students and staff from the Claremont colleges watching tonight's debate just a few buildings away from the debate stage. And afterwards, they had thoughts.
What an amazing show. I'm so glad that I got to be in the audience. It was maybe the best thing I've ever seen in a theater. It was wonderful.
There was a lot going on. I think a lot of us saw that, both with candidates interrupting one another. That's not what we learned when I was in speech and debate in high school.
And I know it's like a short time period that they have, but just kind of felt like non-answers, a little bit of like just filler in a way.
Education changed my life.
Not surprisingly, these young voters are focused on the future of California, and whether they can see themselves here down the road.
I want a place that's affordable and a place that's safe, you know, in terms of like socially, but also in terms of natural disasters.
Do you ever worry that perhaps you will not be able to stay here in California?
Oh, absolutely. Affordability is a huge issue for me. I feel lucky to be here now because I get to go to college and that allows me to have housing here. But once I graduate, I really don't know what the future holds. I might have to leave. I might get to stay. We'll see.
I think it was helpful in that it really showed what candidates were focused on moving on the future and which ones really just want to relitigate the past.
Many here are first-time voters or new voters, like San Diego native Ayami. This will be her first time voting for a California governor, and she's weighing her options.
I actually learned a lot. I was really able to kind of hear more about the lived experiences of the individuals that were on stage.
Very cool. Well, the San Diego County Library is celebrating 250 years of U.S. history with events, book recommendations, and exhibits. KPBS Penner Fellow Emmy Burris found out how the county library is incorporating local stories into national history.
All 33 county library branches are honoring the 250th anniversary of the United States this year. Library staff are curating book recommendations, and the library's branches are hosting in-person events to educate people about the founding of America and the history of San Diego. Cecilia Salgado is the Adult Services Manager for the County Library.
One of the biggest things is that we want to make an inclusive, diverse reflection on not just the nation's history, but also local San Diego County history, and where we can reflect on not just the past, but present and future.
Events include a talk from the San Diego History Center on California women who helped advance the suffrage movement, and a presentation on the forces that shaped San Diego from its early days as a seaport town to the rise of tourism in the 21st century. Salgado said their goal is to make learning about national and local history accessible to everyone, whether that's fostering in-person conversations or highlighting books to read at home.
There's a variety for everyone. So whether you're looking to be alone and reading, you have that digital access of going on Libby to learn about our history and a huge collection of different subjects. Or if you're looking to talk to and interact, where you have your local historian, you have a chance to listen to them and process their perspective in our history.
Through in-person events, she said the county hopes that people can come together and have open conversations about the founding of the United States. Emmy Burris, KPBS News.
And the next event is a concert of protest songs at the Santee City Hall, and that is going to be on May 6th. Stay tuned for the coming months as KPBS continues covering local perspectives on 250 years of American history. Well, a new documentary looks at the personal toll gang laws have taken on San Diegans. It's been 7 years in the making. KPBS reporter Katie Heisen says community members have been living the issue for much longer.
My perception of police officers initially was that they protect the people. But once you get to an age of understanding, you see how their narrative here is to put you in jail. It is to monitor you to the point of Didn't nobody want to be the cop during copping robbers. You wanted to be the robber.
California Story is a new documentary exploring California gang laws and the harm they've caused. The issue is personal for Khalid Alexander. He's the executive producer.
I remember when I was around 12, 13 years old was actually the first time police would start stopping me and my friends on the street and asking us what gang we were from. And at the time, my friends weren't any more gang members, more or less gang members than I was, but out of a kind of a bravado, they would be like, I'm from such and such and this and this and this and that, and didn't know that this was the beginning of a process of documenting people that had real severe consequences moving forward.
Alexander hopes the documentary will help correct misperceptions.
Because of, again, movies like Boys in the Hood and other things, there's this idea that anybody that's in a gang or anybody that's associated in a gang is riding around the street shooting people, or that gang members aren't human beings like everybody else. So we don't argue that gang members are angels. The film argues that gang members are human beings and they should be treated like human beings.
Gang enhancements are overwhelmingly charged against Black and brown people. They can extend a sentence by years. Sometimes they mean the difference between parole and dying in prison. Alexander hopes the documentary will prompt people to think again about these laws.
The laws that we have that make it easy to send some people, put some people into cages under unbelievably horrible circumstances and enable other people just to get a slap on the wrist.
UCSD is hosting a screening and discussion of California Story Thursday evening. Katie Heisen, KPBS News.
Tomorrow is National Adopt a Shelter Pet Day. It is a nationwide push to get people to adopt animals. Last year, 5.8 million dogs and cats entered shelters and rescues, according to ASPCA estimates. Many shelters say one of the biggest reasons people surrender a pet is the cost. Jen Sullivan looks at why vet bills are so expensive and how pet owners can save money.
Furry friends fill our hearts with so much joy, but they can also empty our wallets.
When we talk about ultrasound, CT, MRI, they are very expensive.
Dr. Michael Bailey, president of American Veterinary Medical Association, says rising costs for medical supplies and new technologies are causing vets to charge more. And just like human healthcare, animal healthcare is expensive, and most pet owners are paying their pet bills out of pocket.
You can get pet insurance, which is one of those things that's there for any catastrophic event.
His group estimates only 4% of U.S. pets are covered by pet insurance. Bailey says there are multiple insurance options, and some employers offer their employees discounted rates. The American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals estimated that in 2021, the annual costs for a dog were nearly $1,400. And more than $1,100 for cats. Those costs are even more during their first year because of extra exams and vaccines. So what can you do to help keep costs down?
Work with your veterinary healthcare team. They're there not to make things expensive. They're there to make sure that you have a long, healthy life with your furry friend.
Bailey recommends talking to your vet about wellness packages, financing options. There are even programs that offer financial aid for vet bills. And many local shelters will also offer discounted care for low-income families. He says staying on top of routine exams and vaccines can help prevent or detect diseases early. Also, keep your pet at a healthy weight, because a healthy pet is a happy pet, and that's priceless. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Now we're going to talk about something completely different. Thousands of jellyfish-like sea creatures are once again washing up on beaches in San Francisco. Marine life experts say they're called Velella, and they're apparently harmless to humans. They're cousins to the jellyfish with a sail-like design and a bluish translucent color. They're commonly called by-the-wind sailors because of the strong winds that push them ashore. They've been seen along the Pacific coast from Santa Barbara to Oregon.
All right, inching closer and closer to the weekend here, where we're going to start to see some warmer temperatures and then some changes on the way second half of the weekend, early next week. So warmest days coming here as we head into Friday and Saturday, and then we're going to be watching a cooling trend returning as we head early into next week. There's a chance for showers, but the chance for showers generally does stay on the lower end of things. Low temperatures through tonight actually are a little bit higher than we've been the last couple of nights. Borrego Springs down to 58, Mount Laguna down to 43. 58 in San Diego, Oceanside 54, and under a partly cloudy sky, Chula Vista, you'll drop down to about 56 degrees. And here we go as we watch this storm make its way across Colorado and New Mexico, bringing some much needed mountain snow across Colorado. Meanwhile, warmer weather across the northwest, northern California. Our temperatures stay near the historical average, but we'll watch that trend increase a bit more as we head into Friday and Saturday. All right, we mentioned some of those showers making their way back in towards some of the deserts, the mountain locations. Borrego Springs 88. We'll see more clouds, a slight shower in Mount Laguna. 54 with a slight shower chance, but it looks like we'll get some sun, some clouds. San Diego at 69, Oceanside at 70, and Chula Vista 68 degrees for tomorrow. All right, the heat builds in a bit further south as high pressure takes over. That's going to continue to send some of that warmth, and our stormier conditions here across the Four Corners regions pushes into the south central United States and eventually into the southeast. We'll have a mainly dry weekend here. You can see some showers across northern parts of the state and the heat building across the northwest. Our warmer days will be coming here as we head into the end of the week and parts of the weekend. A brief drop in temperatures across the coast on Sunday, but overall pretty steady the next 5 days. Further inland, your heat peaks on Friday at 78 and then cooler with some clouds by earlier next week. We take into the mountain forecast, watch for some of those showers on Thursday. Cooler conditions as we head into the first weekend of May, and then the wind picks up on Monday. And then across the deserts, how about 93 on Friday before only 79 degrees with breezy conditions on Monday. For KPBS News, I'm Ariella Scalise.
Now, before we get to our last story tonight, here's a look at what we're working on for tomorrow in the KPBS newsroom. On NPR's Morning Edition, Florida lawmakers passed a new voting map that could give Republicans an edge in flipping 4 House seats now held by Democrats. And KPBS Midday Edition has a roundup of all the best arts and culture events around town in the weekend preview. At the San Diego Convention Center, the World Latte Art Championship brought 33 contenders from around the world for one reason, and that is to visually stun judges with foam. Competitors must steam, pour, and design intricate images. So what does it take to be a latte art champion? Well, KPBS web producer Leslie Gonzalez went to the World of Coffee Championship trade show earlier this month to see for herself.
I still get goosebumps of thinking that I'm here.
That was Marquise Monson, representing the U.S. at the World Latte Art Championship, a tournament that determines the best in creativity, technique, control, and skill in foam. Inside the San Diego Convention Center, a stage draws 33 competitors from around the world. Each one is chasing for that perfect pour. It's all part of the World of Coffee, a global trade show that's been around since 1989. The World Latte Art Championship itself is newer. It launched in 2011, but the culture behind it has been building for around 20 years.
There's always an annual trade show in the U.S., and so what we do is for our U.S. show, we rotate through different cities. So we try to get to West Coast, East Coast, middle of the country, and San Diego is an amazing coffee city, so that's why we chose San Diego. And we've never been here before.
In San Diego, coffee has grown alongside the craft beer boom, turning the region into one of the best coffee cities in the country. Each performance is watched by a panel of certified judges, scoring every detail of the design. Competitors are judged on symmetry, quality of milk pour, texture, contrast, and composition. And they're on the clock. In the final stage, competitors have just 10 minutes to complete 6 drinks, 4 matching free pour lattes, and 2 matching macchiatos. Free pour means no tools, just milk, espresso, control, and hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, they're just really looking for something beautiful and something skillful. So there's a lot of technical aspects, particularly in the stage performance.
But the competition doesn't end on stage. It's also up to the audience. At the art bar, competitors recreate their designs for a live audience, turning precision into performance. And here, the crowd gets a say. Audience members vote on their favorite pour, and the winner goes to the World Coffee Championships in Panama this October.
I just had that art bar, so Now I'm kind of chill, but let's see tomorrow. Tomorrow is the main competition, so, well, I'm enjoying the moment now, but a little bit nervous, of course, for tomorrow, but yeah, it's nice to be here.
Well, it's a mix of emotions, you know, like knowing my brother that he wanted to do this since he was little, and then seeing doing this from all the way to the bottom to the top. It's a really, it brings a lot of mixed emotions, fun, and a really happy times too when he was trying to do latte art. Now seeing him doing all of this, it's really crazy.
For me, simplicity is the foundation of creativity, where control, clarity, and intention comes together. Thank you so much for Aiden. Representing the United States of America in Los Angeles, that is my time!
And after rounds of preliminary pours, semifinals, and finals, one cup rises above the rest. Bala Xiao Xing Lin from Taiwan took home the championship trophy and swag merch from the convention. The art bar winner was Eduardo Olimpio, who represented Brazil. He won a trip to the world of coffee in Panama. All finalists received a trophy, and all 33 competitors, including Marquise, went home knowing that they made it to the world stage.
That is fascinating, and now I'm asking myself if it's too late in the day for a cup of coffee. Leslie Gonzalez produced that story. The next World of Coffee event in the U.S. will be held in New Orleans in 2027. That one will host the World Coffee Roasting Championship. Very exciting. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maya Trabulsi. Enjoy your evening.
Major funding for KPBS Evening Edition has been made possible in part by Bill Howe Family of Companies, providing San Diego with plumbing, heating, air, restoration, and flood services for over 45 years. Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE or visit billhowe.com. And by the Conrad Prebys Foundation, Darlene Marco Shiley, and by the following: and by viewers like you. Thank you.